I don't want anybody to go through what I went through.
Being a woman of faith, I could imagine that people threw scripture references at you about divorce and remarrying, and I just see you cringing already, girl. Oh my gosh. Can you talk a
Yes.
little bit about the misuse of scripture as it applies to health and relationships and safety?
Yes. The one scripture that I know, one thing that was key, I've heard you're out of order, you're outside of God's will, and you're doing this. I've heard that all the time. But how could that be true if I feel the way I feel, if I'm being physically and mentally and emotionally abused? How can it be right? That's not God's will for my life. So the scripture, husbands, love your wives as
Mhm.
Christ loved the church. Christ did not take, the church. He did not steal money from his wife. He was not emotionally or physically or verbally abusive to his wife. If a man should love his wife as Christ loves the church. And if Christ didn't do that to the church, why would a man do that to you?
Hmm.
That summed it up for me in a nutshell.
So when people are preaching Ephesians 5, we say, did you read the whole chapter, right?
Right, exactly.
Or
Exactly.
the whole book. But I asked you that because being especially from the South, faith plays a huge impact
Yes.
on how our worldview and the way that we make a decision. Even if we only go to church on Easter and Christmas, the Southern way is very much so ingrained in spirituality. And when somebody uses spirituality as a tactic of power and control, even people who are supposed to be your support circle, it can mess you up.
It's called manipulation.
Yes.
I've been there, done that, and I wrote a book. So yeah.
You got a t-shirt.
Yes, I need to get that t-shirt made. That's right.
I mean, there's just so much good stuff in that book, and I'm so excited about some of the ideas that you have moving forward.
Yes. Hmm.
I went on Facebook to your group and just kind of clicked around and saw how you guys show up and meet. I love how you have the cool intro music and it's
Yes, just
fancy.
spunky life.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Two friends of mine, Rhonda and Mary, we all come from different walks of life, but we have a commonality, which is faith. We bring our life experiences, and we've all been through traumatic experiences in some form or another, but we brought that together and we said, we're really tired of people telling us, hey, this is the way it's supposed to be, but we know they're living another lifestyle. So we wanted to create a platform where we could express ourselves, and not only that, allow a safe place, a safe platform to discuss topics that are important to our community and to people that we can be honest about, and not only just talk about it, but have solutions as well. It's one thing to talk, but if you have solutions or how to get through, that's a whole new ball game. And that's
Mhm.
what we want to do. So it's called Life in Sync. Three is separate words, and we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook Live and YouTube Live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. And like I said, we're just free. We interact with our audience. We talk about different subjects. Of course, spirituality is a big part of it, and just being real talk, real women, real conversations. That's what we're talking about. Nothing is off limits. We just want to be real because we know what we've been through, and we don't want to create this facade like everything is perfect. Yes, we are successful, and the way it looks on the outside, but what we've been through, we want to show people, hey, it's not always been perfect, but this is how we got here, or this is how we can help and encourage somebody else to do what they can do, to meet their potential or max out on their potential. So it's not that we're so great, but we just want to help people. That's the bottom line. We want to be in a position that we can help people, allow people to feel safe to talk, and to encourage others to go forth and just do you, just in a good way. Do you in a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
way. So that's what it's all about. So we enjoy, it's just like we're just sitting around in the backyard talking. That's what it feels like, just friends hanging out, and everybody else comes in and gives their points. So we really enjoy it, and we hope that other people tune in and, just kind of hang out with us for a little while.
And I'm so glad you are a bright spot on the internet because it is so emotionally overwhelming to be a part of any social media platform right now because of everything that our communities are facing with coronavirus and injustice and all sorts of heavy gravitational pulls downward. To know that there's people out there that are shining light, that there is hope for a better future. We just have to be respectful toward one another, be equally yoked in our relationships, be on the same page. You did mention that too, and how you have to really be aware of your relationship and how they work or don't work.
You got to be honest with yourself too.
Yeah. Tell me what that looks like when you're thinking about dating somebody, and especially for the young folks too who might be watching this. You're really interested in somebody, they do match up with your goals in a partner. What are some practical things that somebody could do early on, right before they start dating, to figure out if this person is going to bring them down or lift them up?
That's a great question. Things that I wish I would have known or would have done. Let's see, how many do we want to talk about? But, of course, you want to know, how do they treat their mother? That's number one. How well do they get along with their family and their circle? That's key too. How do they relate to other people? Another important thing, how do they resolve conflict? Really important. Or do they just go all off and start just shouting and they can't handle it, they storm off? Do they punch walls? Are they introverts? They just pull back. I don't want to talk to anybody, and it's for 2 weeks before you hear from them again. That's not normal either. So you want to know how they handle conflict. That's a real important one. And being honest with yourself. If you see something that they do and you don't like it, don't just dismiss it. You can't do that. You need to pay attention and make a mental note, because that could become a pattern. If they are, if they have an anger issue and it's not at you, but they don't know how to handle themselves well, and you see it's a consistent pattern. Every time this happens, they do this. Oh, he just got mad because of that, or he'll never do that to me. Never, ever think that. Never, ever. So those are some key things. Conflict resolution. How are their relationships with other people? And let time go by. Dig into the family as well. Blood is thick in the water, which is true. But if you hang around long enough, the truth is going to come out. So make some very accurate observations, especially around that family. How do they interact? Sooner or later, the facades are going to come off and they're just going to start being real. And the first place they're going to be real is around their family. So I think that's important to look at that.
So no missionary dating, right?
Right.
We can't date people in hopes that we'll fix them. So if good me dates them and shows them what real love is like, then they'll change. And that's not true.
It's not true. And if they're behaving a certain way before you got married, most likely you're not going to change them, and it's going to be 10 times, not saying worse or more, when you get married. So you can't anticipate, oh, I can do this, I can change them. You don't know what underlying issues are there. You don't know 20 years ago what they went through and how they've processed through it, or if they have not processed through it. So if they're doing it before they get married, most likely, yes, people change. Yes, people learn and they do better. But if you see bad behavior before, don't think it's going to change after. It's probably going to increase.